In this video, we're going to talk about snakes, some of the most fascinating and honestly, most misunderstood creatures on our planet. We're going to explore everything from their basic biology all the way to their surprisingly complex social lives. Okay, let's dive right in. So, here's a quick roadmap of what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with the basics, enter into their life cycle and diet. After that, we'll look at their secret social lives and wrap it all up with some seriously mind blowing facts. Alright, first up, what is a snake? Let's get the basics down, like what they are and where you can actually find them. Okay, so at their very core, snakes are reptiles. That means they're vertebrates, they have backbone, just like you and me, but what really sets them apart, of course, is that long, narrow body, no legs, and a super flexible skull. And get this, they are ancient. We're talking 150 million years on this planet. That means they were slithering around when dinosaurs were still roaming the earth. Just think about that for a second. Talk about survivors. And they are just incredibly diverse. I mean, we're not talking about a few different types here. There are over 3,400 known species out there. That is a whopping number. And the size range is just unbelievable. From a tiny little snake that can curl up on a coin, all the way to a massive python that can grow up to 30 feet long. So where do they live? Well, pretty much everywhere. These guys have totally conquered the globe. You can find them in scorching deserts, lush forests, swampy marshes, even out in the ocean. The one and only place you won't find them is Antarctica. It's just too cold. And here's a great little fun fact for you. New Zealand has no native snakes. Why? Because it broke away from the ancient supercontinent before snakes really got a chance to spread out. Pretty cool, right? Alright, next up, let's take a look at a snake's life cycle. You know, how they're born, how they grow up, the whole shebang. You know, how long a snake lives really depends on where it is. Out in the wild, it is a tough life. You've got predators, harsh weather, all kinds of dangers. So a typical lifespan is only around 3 to 5 years. But bring that same snake into captivity, like a zoo, and it's a completely different story. With no predators and regular meals, they can live for a really long time. We're talking 10, 20, even 30 years or more. So how do we get baby snakes? Well, the whole process is pretty fascinating. It all starts with the male snake picking up the female's unique scent trail. It's made of these chemical signals called pheromones. He follows that scent, and when he finds her, he might do these little courtship dances, like rubbing his chin on her. Now, most snakes, about 70% of them, lay eggs. But some, like rattlesnakes, actually give birth to live young. And the wildest part? From the second they're born, these baby snakes are totally on their own. No parental care needed. They are fully independent right from the start. Okay, let's talk about food. This is a huge part of what makes a snake a snake. They are all carnivores, but what they eat and what eats them is really interesting. So what's on the menu for a snake? Well, they are 100% carnivores, meaning they only eat meat, and their diet is super important for the whole ecosystem. The little guys eat things like insects and mice, which helps control pests, and the really big ones, they can eat things as large as deer. The one thing every single snake has in common, though, is that they swallow their prey whole. But they have to watch their own backs, too. They're definitely not at the top of the food chain. Things like big birds of prey, mongooses, and even other bigger snakes, yeah, like the king cobra, are always on the lookout for a snake dinner. Alright, we tend to think of snakes as these cold, solitary creatures, right? Just loners slithering around by themselves. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Turns out, science is starting to uncover a hidden social world that totally challenges that old stereotype. So, the big question is, do snakes have friends? Do they have leaders? For the longest time, the answer from science was a pretty firm, nope, not a chance. But here's the reality. While no, they don't have a chief like a wolf pack, they are definitely not antisocial. It turns out, many species actually gather in huge groups to hibernate together in dens. And even more amazing, scientists have observed snakes that seem to have, well, friends. They have preferred partners they like to bask in the sun with. And get this, mother rattlesnakes will actually stay with their young and protect them. This is a whole new level of social behavior we're just starting to appreciate. Okay, to wrap things up, let's dive into some of the weirdest and most surprising facts about these animals. These are the things that make them so incredibly unique. This one is pretty wild and really shows you how differently they see the world. Literally. Have you ever seen a snake blink? The answer is no, because they can't. They don't have any eyelids. Instead, they have this queer scale over their eye called a spectacle. It's like wearing a permanent built in pair of safety goggles. And here are a few more quick-fire, mind-blowing facts for you. You know that forked tongue flicking in and out? They're actually smelling the air, pulling in scent particles. Their scales? They're made of keratin, the exact same stuff as your hair and fingernails. When a snake swallows a huge meal, its heart can actually move out of the way to make room. How crazy is that? And finally, some snakes, like pit vipers, basically had a superpower, a sixth sense that lets them see the body heat of their prey in complete darkness. So when you put it all together, from their ancient history to their complex social lives, it's clear that snakes are so much more than just simple reptiles. Bibby's incredible, highly adapted survivors, just packed with biological surprises. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. Alrighty, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.